Good morning, guys. I'm Sari from English Department, Islamic University of Riau. I would like to explain my material about classroom management. But before coming to my point, I would like to give you the purpose and the reason why I choose this topic. The first is the purpose why I choose this topic is just to know how to manage classroom well. And then the reason why I choose this topic because I'm a student. From teacher and training education faculty. So as a student from teacher and training education, you have to know how to manage classroom well. Because when you know how to manage your classroom well, that will be easy for you when you be a teacher later. And come to my point, there are some classroom management strategies. The first is get prepared. You must be prepared each time that you go into your classroom. As a teacher, you have to prepare all things like your performance and your materials, especially in your materials. You have to prepare and master your materials well before coming to your class or before teach your students. That will make it easy to convey or explain the material for your students. In fact, when you master your students, when you master your lesson well, you will look so confident when teach your students in the front of class. The second is make your room attractive. Not to have an attractive room that is as well as the students can appreciate and enjoy. It is very important for you as a teacher to make your class enjoy for your students. I mean, as a teacher, you have to know how to control your tone or your voice in learning process. You have to know when you raise your voice or when you down your voice in learning process based on the context of the material that you explain to your students. In fact, when you are very effective to explain your material for your students will be serious and respect to their materials. The first is set classroom rules. Classroom rules is very important to make your students disciplined. Rules is very important in classroom. Rules is basic to manage your classroom. As a teacher, you have to prepare some rules before coming to your class. For example, in the beginning or the first meeting with your students, you try to explain who are you, how your background, and the last you explain to them that you have some rules in your class, and that rules have consequences for your students. Because why? Actually, your students will afraid about the consequence of rules from their teachers. It will make it easy to control your students. So remember that as a teacher, you have to prepare some rules before coming to your class and explain to them that rules have consequences. The first is be enthusiastic about your lesson. When you teach a lesson, treat it as if you love what you are doing and be interactive with your students and engage them in participate. As a teacher, you have to love what you are doing. In other words, you have to love what your job. Here, your job is a teacher. So, as a teacher, you have to love your job and you have to always learning about your material that you want to explain to your students. And five, to make your students be proactive in the classroom. With, for example, before we come to the materials, you can give a perception for your students. Warming up your students' ability in the materials. The next is prepare with your students. As a teacher, it is necessary for you to be fair to all your students. Make a point to always hear them out and create this models with dignity and respect. It is very important for your teachers because as a teacher, you have to be fair for all your students. For example, in learning process, for example, when you give your student question, you have to give same chance for your students to answer that question. For example, you give your student question and then you can say, who can answer my question? Raise your hand. It is make your be fair teachers for your students. And the last is keep the students record. When children do their work, then their work should be graded and recorded in your gradebook. It is very important for you as a teacher to have to prepare a gradebook. It is to make your easy to look your students your labor students' ability. You can analyze from this book your students' ability, rise or down, and then can help you to improve yourself to teach your students later. And then the last thing I will give conclusion. The conclusion is teaching is very important job. Teaching is not easier because before teach or before being a teacher, you have to know, you have to able how to manage your classroom resource. Because if not, that will be difficult for you to explain the material for your students. So, as a teacher, you have to know how to manage or how to control your students before teach your students about their material. I think that's all.